Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? So we all know a little bit about Yoda, but we know even less about Master Yaddle. All the information in this video is going to be from Legends, but it's pretty fun, and as we know, it seems like Dave Filoni is pulling a lot from Legends and making it canon. Free real estate, why not? And it's honestly the best. So here we go, top 10 facts about Yaddle. The first being, Yaddle was imprisoned as a padawan. She was the apprentice to the human Jedi Polvin Kut, almost 3 centuries prior to the events of A New Hope. Yaddle and her master were on a mission to the mid-rim world of Koba to free colonies from a warlord named Tulak, who happened to have also been the one who had murdered Yaddle's master's family decades earlier. While there, the 2 Jedi were betrayed and ambushed by Tulak's forces. In the midst of the battle, Yaddle's master gave into his hatred for Tulak and fell to the dark side. But he was decapitated before he could take his revenge on the warmonger. Masterless and outnumbered, Yaddle was captured alive, interrogated, and subjected to numerous forms of torture. When it became clear that the young Padawan would never break, Tulak moved on. He left his marshals in charge of the planet and imprisoned Yaddle in an underground dark chamber, deep beneath the ground. There, the green-skinned Padawan remained alone, in the dark, for a century. Number 2. The one below. During Yaddle's almost 100-year imprisonment, she was kept alive and fed by the native Kobans as a sort of ritual. However, in order to gain the favor of Tulak's marshals, the Kobans taunted and jeered at her through a gap in the ceiling of Yaddle's prison and referred to her as the one below. It was through that gap that meager provisions were sent down to her in a basket. The food wasn't enough. It was mostly through the Force that she was able to keep herself alive. When one day a massive earthquake across the entire planet hit, it caused an avalanche that made a small opening in her prison. Yaddle saw sunlight for the first time in a century and emerged from her cell, only to witness the decimation and destruction the earthquake had caused for the Kobans. Instead of returning to the Jedi Order, Yaddle decided to remain on Koba and help them rebuild their civilization, having long ago forgiven them for their cruelty and imprisonment of her. Number 3. Return to the Jedi. After many decades of helping the Koba, Yaddle finally returned to the Jedi. The High Council decided that even though Yaddle had just been a Padawan when she was imprisoned, her time in her cell and subsequent collaboration with the people who had been her jailers was her Jedi trial, and she needed no more training. Even Peel, one of the masters on the council, recognized how much Yaddle's connection to the Force had grown in the many years of her ordeal, and he proposed elevating her not just to Jedi Master, but also to a council member, except for Master Yoda, who felt promoting her was not in keeping with the Jedi Code. All the other council members overwhelmingly were in favor of her appointment, and so she joined the High Council. Number 4. Yaddle had several apprentices. As perhaps the only Jedi Master in history who had never been a Jedi Knight, Yaddle still trained dozens of Padawans to knighthood, including a Jedi named apprentices. He was a Thespian royal who had abdicated his claim to the throne of his home world and became Yaddle's apprentice. Eventually, he reached the rank of master and was given a place on the High Council because of his adept strategic and tactical mind. With a seat next to Yaddle on the council, he served as one of the Jedi's top military advisors and aided them with his battle meditation. Number 5. She was very knowledgeable in the Force. Yaddle was made head of a group of Jedi scholars called the Librarian Assembly, who routinely accessed most, if not all, of the accumulated knowledge the Jedi had stored in their archives. Her knowledge of the Force grew to such a degree that eventually she was able to master abilities that few Jedi even knew of, let alone truly understood. Number 6. Blink and you are dead. On a mission for the Order with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yaddle and Anakin's master were charged by attack droids. Yaddle immediately struck out. Her movement was all grace and flow. Kenobi was impressed by how fast she was. From his perspective, the little Jedi Master ravaged through several of the droids with such speed that she was just a blur of motion. After finishing 10 droids, she buried her lightsaber in 2 grenade mortar controls in what seemed like no time at all. Now, fun fact, this is actually how Anakin perceived Mace Windu and Palpatine when he walked in on them fighting, just as a red and purple blur. Number 7. Yaddle's presence in the Force affected other Jedi. When Anakin Skywalker had been in the presence of Yaddle, he could feel the Force stir within him. The green-skinned Jedi Master's power felt like a physical sensation, as if it was being drawn from the ground. Obi-Wan Kenobi had a similar experience when he was engaged in battle against some droids, with Yaddle at his side. The Force flowed so naturally that he felt charged with energy. Her mere presence had amplified his Force powers, and Kenobi was suddenly able to casually deflect the droids' heavy blaster fire and slice through 4 of them with one swift blow. Number 8. Yaddle practiced Force powers forbidden to most Jedi. Yaddle was patient, kind, and one of the wisest Jedi Masters on the High Council. Because of this, she was given permission to study some of the more rare and dangerous Force techniques, including an ability known as Moritro. This Force skill gave Yaddle the capability to slow down the bodily functions of any opponent to the point of death, including her own. Number 9. She was an avid collector. As one of the most revered Jedi of her time, Yaddle was often sought out by other Jedi for her wisdom and knowledge on many subjects. In fact, over her long lifespan, the wise Jedi Master had a personal collection of trinkets and artifacts that grew so large that she could fill several rooms with them. Number 10. Anakin Skywalker blamed himself for her death. While on a mission to attempt to end the vicious cycle of violence on the seditious world of Mawan, Yaddle, along with Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Padawan learner Anakin Skywalker, were unable to prevent the release of a potent bioweapon. The young Skywalker was held hostage by a terrorist leader. Yaddle came to his rescue and managed to free him, but not before the weapon was launched. Knowing that thousands of lives were at stake, Yaddle threw herself at the bioweapon and through the Force, absorbed the entire contents of the bomb as it exploded, vaporizing her body. Anakin had witnessed the entire event and blamed it on himself. Had he not gotten captured, Yaddle could have stopped the terrorists before sacrificing herself. At least that was her in Legends, but little is known about her fate in canon, only that she stepped down from the council sometime before episode 2. She couldn't have left the Order, like Dooku did, as the Jedi would have made a bust in her tribute and added her to the Lost 20. They were a group of Jedi Masters who had abandoned the Order due to political or ideological differences, such as mentioned Dooku. If Yaddle was among them, they would be the Lost 21. Now, it is possible that she had perished in some mission that hasn't been revealed yet, but she might also still be alive, in canon at least. Now, in the video game Jedi Fallen Order, her name was mentioned, hinting at the possibility that she might have gone into hiding after Order 66. With Season 2 of The Mando having only 2 episodes left, I really hope that we'll either see her or learn about her backstory. I'm kind of betting on her being Grogu's mom, and I know a lot of people are too, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe she'll never be mentioned again, maybe she'll be very important to the story. After all, she was a pretty amazing Jedi. Thanks for watching this video, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you always.